Hi, Scott here. Hope you're going well. Right, so we're warming up. I think it's Thursday already, but market action seems to be warming up a bit today. A bit more to look at. So we go straight into the charts. I'll show you what I'm seeing. Hopefully, you'll be able to agree or disagree, but have the same kind of ideas I have, I hope. Okay, let's do that. Stop that. Right. Okay, so we have a number of things today that look quite interesting. Very organised here. I'll watch this up. Watching this one. Okay, Aussie Swiss will start with this then. Okay, so we have on the daily a uptrend in play, breaking the daily 50, and a strong up day yesterday. So that's looking like it wants that upwards momentum to continue. We are at a level which appears to be maybe some resistance here, maybe. Since we've bounced off here quite a few times before, but maybe we're just passing through that. Hard to say, just keep that in mind. No obvious resistance line I can see. So what do we see on the hourly chart? We can see a nice looking pip snatcher. Nice simple strategy, 1-to-1, quick in and a quick out. We could also look at it as an ACBB, if you're familiar with that one, which is an IBO following a pullback to the 4-hour 50. Although I didn't quite reach the 4-hour 50, but the idea of the ACBB is the 4-hour 50 is now behind us and not in front of us. We're not trading into it and through it, we are trading away from it. So either way, they're both very similar setups. The fib is about the same, but probably the easiest way would just be a quick pip snatcher 1-to-1. Unless, of course, you think this has a lot more legs on it. It's not really clear Elliott wave in here. It's a bit upward march, but yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Not that clear. So if you want to push it further, you can, but the easiest trade might just be a straightforward 1-to-1 pip snatcher. Should it pull back? We'll see on that one. Let's go to Aussie yen. As you can see, there's quite a few in here. So looking at the daily, yen pairs been watching for a few days. Not a very nice reversal candle, but we're hitting this level, which we've hit a few times before, and the daily 50, acting as very strong resistance, and it's matching with other yen pairs as well. So it kind of gives you a slight bias, if you like. This level is very strong. We've got a very major level there, rejecting it there. We're hitting the wicks here, and some down here, and yeah, we can go back and check the strength of that. But the daily 50, of course, is the big dynamic resistance level we're rejecting at the moment. Should it go straight through that? We're also looking at the weekly 50 as well. We're testing the weekly 50 here. And monthly 50s not giving us much. Monthly chart. So onto the hourly chart. Well, what do we have? We've got this trend line, which looks pretty good. It finally broke through. Did I adjust this one? No, this is one I kept the same. Okay, so we're breaking through that just this morning, actually. Breaking through the 1-hour 50. So we're looking for it to pull down to somewhere like around here somewhere. Pull back to the 1-hour 50 and give us a nice IBO short. IBO A, B, or C. It's not a C. We haven't reached the 4-hour 50. A or B, do we have the 4-hour in our favour? Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. We'll quickly look at that. 4-hour, we have, yeah, we can say that we've got a lower high, but no lower low yet on the 4-hour. So on the entry, depending how far it pulls down, it might go far enough to give us an IBO A, as in the confirmed trend change on the 4-hour. Otherwise, it'd be an IBO B. By the way, it looks pretty strong. Let me go back to the 1-hour chart. Yep, so that's Aussie yen. So CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss we saw yesterday, looking for it to go up, and indeed it did. We're almost at the daily 50. And over here we have on the hourly chart, we have a possible pip snatcher. Now, if you entered the, excuse me, if you entered the ACB, we talked about a few days ago, then you'd be smiling now because you'd be up 1 or 2%, looking pretty good. Other than that, this is the first pullback we're hopefully going to get, either to the pivot, which can make it a nice quick pip snatcher, 1-to-1, entering at the pivot, waiting for the 1 hour 50 to catch up, of course, chasing the 1 hour 50 as well as the pivot. CAD Swiss, six hours or so till that sets up, so that gives it plenty of time for the 1 hour 50 to catch up and the price action to come back down and meet it. Either that, or we can again have an ACBB, which you can trade here, but we're trading into the daily 50, so we don't want to go beyond that anyway. Probably the best bet here is a quick 1-to-1 pip snatcher. Okay, Swiss yen. Swiss yen, like other yen pairs, we're getting some yen strength, rejecting this level. Is there a level here? Yes, it's a pretty strong level there. Let's just drag this down, we can show you. About there, which rejects the daily 20, but I've also got level which rejected here and here and here and here. So it's a pretty strong level, rejecting it nicely yesterday, looking for some more downward bias today. Working through the 1 hour 50 and the 4 hour 50 overnight, or yesterday, should I say, overnight for me. And we are now, it's like it's stored in this level, which is good. Want it to pull back pretty soon. So our fibs line up. And the 382 fib lines up with where the 1 hour 50 will be in probably 4, 6, 8 hours. 4 hour 50 just behind it, lovely CBO. Are we getting a 4 hour break and retest? We should be by then. Yes, we certainly are already on the 4 hour chart up here. See if I can blow the 4 hour 50 and then we're going to come back and retest it. So that's a beautiful looking CBO. Hopefully that one will play out later today. Euro Swiss. Okay, it's been going sideways forever it seems, and they've had a really strong move yesterday, breaking above this SR line. I can clean through it and clear skies above. So looking for some more positive momentum here. So the best thing probably is a pip snatcher, the easy trade, but the 1 hour 50 is quite a long way behind. Euro Swiss, another 6-8 hours before that sets up. So in that time, maybe that'll pull 1 hour 50 pull up to the pivot. But if you look at an ACBB, then the fib will have to go from down here to up here. And it's got to pull back. If it pulls back even further through the pivot, then it could be an ACBB, which could line up well with 1 hour 50. That's a possibility as well. We'll see how that one plays out. And you could even look at that as a hyper trade, as a 4-to-1, but instead of the pip snatcher, push the target up to 4-to-1. But that's a big move, so I probably wouldn't suggest that because of this big move. So 4-to-1 is going to take it way up here somewhere, which is a bit hopeful, I think. So I'll stick to the ACBB or the pip snatcher personally. Euro yen, another yen pair, with strong SR line here, rejecting 1 hour 50, looking to go down. There's no real candle today so far is going down. And short, we'll have to see if that continues. So we're just breaking the 1 hour 50. Should that break continue down here, pull back, give us a nice little IBO. Could be an IBOC, depending how far it pulls back. But that's like quite a nice IBO. The trend line has been broken, retested, and now the 1 hour 50 has been broken. So keep an eye on that one. That one looks quite nice as well. Maybe for later on. Kiwi Swiss. So we see a few Swiss pairs coming into our attention recently today. So Swiss, again, we've also got some Swiss weakness because Kiwi Swiss has a very bullish day yesterday, breaking out of this sideways action, testing the 1 hour, the daily 50. finally broken above it a few days ago and now strongly pulling away from it. So we look here for a possible pip snatcher, pull back to the 1 hour 50 as it meets the pivot, daily pivot, quick 1-to-1. It could be a nice little pip snatcher. Kiwi yen. Here's another yen. And rejecting this line here, the day 2050 zone, a lovely doji candle yesterday, downward action starting today. And broken the 1 hour 50. I think we've got a different trend line in play now. Well, I found this morning. It seems to have been quite good. Actually tested that last night. And we are getting some bearish action, breaking the 1 hour 50. Should they go a bit lower, pull back? That could be a lovely IBO short, or if there's lots of strength, it might even turn into a CBO. Let's see on that one. Dollar Swiss. Again, the Swiss weakness means we're getting the dollar Swiss pair with some strength, heading up towards the daily 50. And is this really a strong level? It could be, or we could even put it up to here, which is this low and this low, which lines up the daily 50. So a possibility that could move up to the day towards the daily 50. And on the 1 hour chart, this is a nice looking CBO actually, a lovely looking CBO, nice, love that curve. That's the kind of action we're really looking for, ideal. Curves back down to here in about 6 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours, meeting the 382, the hourly 50 as it catches up, the 4 hour 50 just behind it. Beautiful looking setup. And the fib, we do have some different possibilities here. We could take a little bit lower, or even right down here. That's too low, I think. 6 to 8 hours, either this one or this one, and that can give us a nice long trade up towards the daily 50. So that's probably my favorite, just from the price action, looking really nice. 3 more that might be setting up soon, later today perhaps. First one's CAD yen, another yen. We are breaking down, we hope. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of sideways action on this SR line, which is pretty strong, going back. So it seems to be breaking down along with the other yen pairs, and we've broken below the trend line, that line or that line, either way, it's broken cleanly below that and the 1 hour 50. As it pulls back, oh no, okay, so what I'm thinking here, because of the fibs, they don't line up very well for an IBO. IBO has got to be something like here. Maybe it could do it off the 4 hour. Looks a bit tight, maybe. Just keep an eye on it. Otherwise, either that or just wait for it to clear the 4 hour 50, come back and retest it in the CBO. So either IBO or CBO on that one. Euro Aussie. Okay, come up to the daily 50 and nice doji yesterday. Looking like we could be going short. I'll be seeing that on our 1 hour. 1 hour. Okay, we can see on the MACD, we've got a MACD divergence. Those 2 highs. Those 2 highs, well, it's equal highs here on the price chart. And projecting the daily 20, but we are playing with the daily 50. And we get a breakdown below this hourly 50 and the daily 50, come back retest, that'll be an ACBB, because the 4 hour 50 is behind us. Same rules as an IBO. Just remember the 4 hour 50 is behind us. We're not using it as a price target. We're using that, if anything, as protection from our stop. And that could be a nice one short. And the last one we look at is Euro Yen. Pound Yen even. Pound Yen. Like other yen pairs, stalling, breaking down off the day 20. Nice strong SR line there. And on the hourly chart, we can see it's breaking below the 1 hour 50 very strongly. It's been waiting to do that for a while, so lots of traders are jumping on this one. Break down a bit lower. Can we get an IBO out of it? If it pulls back now, we could get a little IBO out of it if it pulls back now, actually. Yeah, it looks a bit tight, but there's a break. 2 or 3 hours pulling back nicely. That could be a little IBO. Might have to trade through the 4 hour 50 to get a reasonable risk reward. And you get 1% before the 4 hour 50, so that's good. There's not an IBOC, an IBOB, I'd imagine, looking at the sideways price action. And you can take that down to plenty of choices here for profit target, these lows, or you can even do a few extension, 1.272 on the setup you have. So if it does set up here, down here, pull back to here, say, let's delete from the top. If this was the low, pulls back to here, say, as the test of 382 and 1 hour 50, 1.272, that could be a profit target there. That'd be a nice 3%. That's lines up with this low here. So that's probably the obvious profit target, I'd say. There you go. So there's a few interesting ones there. I like that. Some nice ones indeed. Let's get the camera back. Hopefully you can see me again. Let's turn the share screen off. Okay, so there you go. So some good looking setups today, looking nice. And I wish you all the best. Hopefully you're catching something this week. If not, at least warming yourself up for the year, right? Getting all your practice and remembering all the strategies and spotting them in the markets as they develop. Right, I wish you all the best. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Take care. See you then.